Hey guys, Dr. Vic here, and this is tip number, I don't even have enough figure, 13 in sign language, 13 out of 30. Talking about tips to help empower you in the next year, but more importantly, the next decade. In this tip, this is something I wrote in my book called Rediscover Your Greatness. It's not my principle. I learned this when I was in chiropractic school. It was really, really a great principle that taught me things, and it took me a while to really grasp it because I got caught into a trap that most humans are like this, where we get caught into, we have to have something first in order to do the things we love, to be the person we want to become. And this is called the have do be model. Now the real model is be do have. And so the have do be means we always have to think we need something in order to do what we love, to become what we want to have. But it's actually backwards. Because in life, just thinking from a quantum physics perspective, okay, a thought is a formless thing. It's matter. It's an energy. It's a frequency, but it's non-physical, right? That thought has to start from a non-physical place, and then from there, as you keep feeding it, eventually it can turn into physical manifestation, where all of a sudden it'll become a physical reality, right? You're watching this maybe on social media, maybe on YouTube, maybe on a phone, whatever it may be. That all came from a thought, an idea. And the idea was, hey, eventually we're going to have the XYZ. Bill Gates stated that he had a vision of people having all at home, having a PC, right? At the time, people thought they were crazy. He was crazy. They were so expensive. Right? But it was a beingness. He didn't say everyone has to have a PC in their house so that I can create Windows the way I have it, so that I can be that person of being a multi-billionaire or being one of the most successful people in the history of time. Right? He didn't do that. He did the opposite. So what he did was he had to see who he wanted to be, the leader he wanted to be in the tech industry, the person he wanted to develop to become. Then he said, I'm going to start doing the actions of what that is that person would do to eventually have what they have, right? And that's how life really is. You have to be the person, right? So if you want to be a millionaire, what is it like? What is a millionaire? What's the being of a millionaire? If you want to have a healthy marriage, what is the beingness of a healthy marriage? How do you have to show up? And so much more, right? If you want to have really great health, what's the beingness of having great health? And then what do you have to do, right? A lot of times, and unfortunately in personal development and self-help and all these different things, we're always told what to do. We need to stop that. We run mindlessly doing something and thinking, okay, since I'm doing this, this is what's going to happen, right? But there's a beingness to it that people miss the boat. Why? Because I know for myself as a chiropractor, when I was first in school, I studied the ones that were the most successful. I wanted to know what they did, right? Because in sports, I took that mentality from sports. When I played baseball, I would study players. When I played semi-pro, I would study players. I wanted to know the good ones. How do they do what they did? And I would figure out their ways. And then I would figure out for myself, how do I have to get there? But what I missed the boat on, there's a beingness to it, right? And there's this play in sports, it's easy for me to get to that state. But for business, it was a lot harder to make that transition because I would do what they did and didn't get the results they got. And it was frustrating. And I'm a type of person where if I set a tone or I set the point on something, I'm going to see it through no matter what. And I'll learn the lessons along the way. So the be, do, have model is that you really have to take that aspect and understand the beingness of who you have to become. It's a vibration. It's a frequency. It's a tone. And once you get there and you start, when you're doing what you have to do, once you get to that frequency, the having's there. It's going to happen instantaneously. Because, and I'm not saying it's going to happen instantaneously once you be, you have to do the work to get to that point. But once the vibration is in alignment for what it is you want to have, it's there. And then having is anything you dictate. So the be, do, have model is really, really a great one. Again, I shared in my first book, Rediscover Your Greatness, but it's one of those things where whatever you want to achieve in 2020 in this next decade, who do you have to become first? How do you have to show up every single day? What's that beingness? Let's go there. Then from there, you can focus on what do you have to do. The doing's kind of easy because then you can start to be like, okay, this is my mindset, right? We all know everything starts and ends with the mind. So if that's the being part, then from there, you can start doing the work. What's the action steps? What are the things you're going to do? How are you going to map this out and what you think is going to be the best way? And then eventually over time. There's no recommendation. There's no like, oh, this is good. If you do this for 3 months, you're going to be there. Sorry, it's just life doesn't work that way. You're going to have to put in the efforts and the work into it. And as long as you're staying in that being component, eventually you'll get to where you want to be. You'll get that havingness, the things you want to have. But this is the process to get there. And this happens in any aspect of your life. As a parent, financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, career, business, who do you have to be and show up that way first? And then just do the action steps from that moment, from that place, and whatever you want to have, it will come. It's written the laws are written in the skies, as I like to say. So hope you enjoyed the tip, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.